Hello again everyone, Tim here, back again for Droid Life. Thank you so much for tuning in. As promised, we have the Galaxy Z Flip 3 in-house. We just got done boxing the Fold 3 and started using that. But now the Flip 3 is here, and I'm a little torn. I mean, I'm actually really excited for the Flip 3, only because, you know, it flips. It's like a clamshell, right? It folds that way, and it can fit in your pocket really nicely. So I might have a little internal debate as to which one I want to use first, or use both. Fold 3 can be my dedicated in-house kind of couch phone, and this could be the guy that I take outside and like into town. Who knows? We shall see. Anyway, before we start using it, we have to unbox it. And before we do that, I want to send a huge shout out to AT&T for hooking it up with this one. We had to buy our own Fold 3, but AT&T was able to hook us up with the Flip 3. So thank you so much, AT&T. You are very much appreciated. So here is the Flip 3. Let's go ahead, start unboxing this bad boy. As you can see, it's very thin in the box. The box itself is thin because, again, there is no charger included with the phone. Samsung, you know, they lowered the price for this device. They improved hardware, internals, etc. They added the water resistance. I mean, basically, if you're coming from any other Flip device, the Flip 5G or the regular Flip, the original Flip, this is going to be the upgrade you've been waiting for. So let's go ahead and here. I already kind of had it cut open. I think AT&T had it open technically because they tossed in a SIM in there for me. So again, thank you, AT&T. That's very kind. I'm not sure if it's like this on every box, but I assumed it was the cream model because it kind of has this cream color on the outside. And I looked at the sticker and it did specify that it is the cream one. So awesome. Thank you very much. And here is the device. Again, these unboxings have been a little, what's the word? I would not say boring, but a little, you know, not too eventful because there's simply just not a lot in the box. However, here is the device. It's got all of its plastic on it. Let's go ahead and peel all that. Oh, nice. I love doing that. Because I have perfect tone. So here is the device, nice and tall. Let me go ahead, I'll get it kind of booted up, and I'll give you the hardware tour and all that. She is lovely. She is lovely. So I'll boot it up, go over the specs with you here. Actually, before I dive into that, I'm going to place the phone down here. Let's see what else is in the box. We've got a whole lot of nothing. Yep, there's my AT&T SIM. We got a SIM ejection tool. And I assume there's a data cable in here, a USB-C to USB-C data cable. Correct. So USB-C, USB-C data cable, you're going to have your quick start guide, all that sort of documentation, and your SIM ejection tool. Pretty cool. Lots going on, lots to talk about. So there it is. I have to return this, so we have to make sure the box stays nice. And keep it nice and clean. There we go, because we're respectful like. So here is the device. Let's go ahead, talk about some specs here. On this main display, 6.7 inch Full HD Plus, so not Quad HD, but Full HD Plus AMOLED display. The resolution is 2640 by 1080 with 120 Hertz adaptive refresh rate. That adaptive means it can go all the way down from very low refresh rate, under 60 Hertz, all the way to 120 Hertz, depending on what it is you're doing with the device itself. So that's very cool. On the outside here, oh, all right, the first fold. Oh yeah. So on the outside here, this little guy right here, this display is 1.9 inch Super AMOLED display, 260 by 512. So it's not huge. Might be hard to pick up in the camera here, but the display ends right about here and right next to the dual 12 megapixel camera setup. But all other specs include the Snapdragon, all new Snapdragon 888 5G processor. Phone, doesn't matter which storage model you get or storage variant. Capacity comes with 8 gigs of RAM and up to 256 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage. So, you know, should be enough RAM for you. Again, you know, starting price of $9.99. Samsung definitely dropped it down. I think these originally started at $13.49. So the fact that they're $9.99, they come with water resistance. It's a much lighter and better feeling phone in hand. I can already tell you, I reviewed the original Z Flip. This thing feels pretty sweet. Other specs. Let's go ahead, close it up again. We've got two 12 megapixel cameras right here, one ultra wide, one regular wide angle OIS. super fancy autofocus, all that good stuff that you would expect. On the inside here, so this is interesting. We have a quick little conspiracy theory for you real quick. So this is a 10 megapixel selfie camera. It is the cutout notch. So on the way more expensive Galaxy Z Fold 3, it has the UDC, Samsung's new under display camera. However, I came to find out rather quickly that that camera is not only not that good, but it's all pixelated up here where the display covers the camera. Now, because that camera is not very good, I almost think that Samsung was thinking, well, maybe people don't use that camera so much on the Fold 3, but they will have to use this one. So instead of compromising camera performance and throwing in a UDC that people aren't going to be able to use very much and honestly doesn't even look that good, let's go ahead, toss in the 10 megapixel with a cutout notch. I'm thinking maybe that was the play. It's better for your Snapchats and your selfie game and all that stuff. I'm just very curious, the trade-offs. Was it even possible with the display that Samsung's using here? I have a lot of questions, so maybe I'll write Samsung an email, get a statement, who knows. Anyway, maybe I'm the only person who cares. Whatever, cutout notch right there, 10 megapixel selfie. 3300 milliamp hour battery, supports up to 15 watt fast charging, so not a very fast charging phone, but not terrible by any means. It's going to be faster than, well, not a ton of devices, but probably around the same speed, I think, as a Pixel 5. I think that's 18 watt, doesn't matter. IPX8 water resistant, so good for your splashes. You can definitely take this in the kitchen. You can take it in the bathroom. It'll be fine. You can dunk it once or twice. Just do not take it into seawater or put corrosive chemicals on it or do anything stupid like that. You got your fingerprint sensor right here in the side. This volume rocker, or power button doubles as the fingerprint sensor. You got your volume rocker here. It's got Bluetooth 5.2. It's got some stereo speakers. Has noise canceling mics. USB-C here on the bottom. Has your SIM port right there. You stick your little port there, or stick your SIM there. Samsung Pay compatible with NFC, thank goodness. And like I said, stereo speakers. And then the software is Android 11 with One UI on top. So that's all of the, kind of highlight marquee specs you need to know about. This is the hardware. I will say, feels pretty darn good. I mean, look at this nice little compact form factor. You stick this right in your pocket. It's pretty sweet. And what's great is, like, this updated cover display, it's a lot bigger than the original one. I think you could actually get some use out of this. No, I'm not going to scroll through Twitter on it and reply to rude DMs, but I am going to, be able to check the time, take a quick selfie if I need to, whatever the case may be. And then also, I will say, after folding it a couple of times, the crease in the display isn't all too bad. Maybe if I could get the camera to focus here. The crease is not too shabby. So I'm going to go ahead, dive into the software for you, take a peek, and I'll be right back. All right, we are back with the Galaxy Z Flip 3, all set up, looking good. There's not too much to talk about in terms of software on this device. It is Android 11 with One UI on top, 3.1.1. And if you are familiar with Samsung software, then you're going to know exactly what that's like. Real quick though, before I dive too deep into things, I just want to complain. Sorry, let me vent, people. So I stay at home all day. So the thing is, when you flick up to get into the app drawer with One UI, what's intuitive to me would be flick up and then keep flicking to go into additional applications. But no, it's paginated, and I really can't stand it. So you flick up and then have to change your direction. And as you can see, after, again, thank you AT&T for the unit, but it is just sort of a little eye-opening. We're so used to having unlocked units. As soon as you start loading up the AT&T stuff, boom, you start getting Star Trek Fleet Commander, DirecTV Plus, and DC Universe, and Opera News, and Waduku, and all this like stuff. And it's just a lot of stuff that I'm going to have to go through and just sort of disable and get it off the phone. And then also the poor person who, had this phone number before me, because it's an AT&T SIM, I'm getting all their spam messages and stuff. So like, if I was like a new customer and this was my experience, I'd be like, oh God, what is this? So anyway, back to the phone itself. I'm not going to let that detract from my overall feelings of the Z Flip 3. It's a very nice device. So we're going to flick down here to get into our thing. We're going to go into settings here and just take a gander at the About Phone and then software information, we are going to see that it is One UI 3.1.1 running on top of Android 11, and it comes running the July 1st, 2021 patch level. There are a couple other things here. Let's go back into settings. Couple other things I wanted to do real quick, at least just to show you. If you go right here into display, this is the first thing I do on pretty much all phones these days. Boom, I go dark mode. That just looks a lot nicer, I think. I turn off adaptive brightness, just my personal preference, and then under motion smoothness, that's going to be your display's refresh rate. I just have it set to adaptive. If you go standard, it's going to be toggled at 60 Hertz, and it's not going to go above that. And then also, if you scroll down a little bit further, I want to change the navigation bar, and I want to switch to gestures, swipe gestures. Now I don't have to worry about these little buttons down there for clicking back and all that. I'm just so used to gestures now that if I don't have gestures, then, you know, I'm doing it wrong. So also real quick, I can show you the selfie camera here. So you've got your front display here. Again, it is 1.9 inch Super AMOLED display, very nice. Now if you double click on the power button, you're going to open up that selfie cam and go, hey everybody, hi. So there's the selfie cam. It's not, you know, that's a fine looking display size right there. And then you can toggle through different modes, your video mode, photo mode, etc. You can toggle between which camera you want to use, between the wide and the ultra wide. So that's nice. And if you just want to dip out, you can. When I checked that the first time, I was able to see that I had some notifications already coming in. So, but from this display, you know, you can quickly access your music playback settings, your alarm, timer, and then you can even add additional widgets. So we can add, say, a weather widget, a calendar, probably some additional apps that you can download to take advantage of that. But that is the device so far. Galaxy Z Fold 3, again, they lowered the price. They added in some really sweet stuff, such as the water resistance. I mean, they made the overall device lighter and more durable. I mean, how are you going to argue with that? Just a good upgrade, especially if you're coming from the original Z or the Z 5G, or the Flip, excuse me, the Flip or the Flip 5G. I'm tired of all these names, man. Anyway, that is our unboxing. I'm gonna start using this is gonna be my freaking leave the house device, my little pocket guy, and then I'm gonna have the Fold 3 for at home, just regular old couch potato usage. So, and we'll see how that goes for me. Again, I mean, pretty darn good looking device. You have to admit, you can't be a hater. So again, shout out to AT&T. Thank you so much for sending over this device. We will cherish it and treat it very gently. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them down below. Be on the lookout for our full review coming soon. Until then, we're Droid Life. Peace.